Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, I'm laid in a sand dune. It's not one of my things, it's not what I normally do. I'm just trying to get out of the wind. And if you're wondering where I am, I'm in van life paradise. Ellie, come here, say hello. And there's been so much happening, so many changes in my life. I don't know where to start, but let's start with this. It was Tuesday the 4th of April 2023 and this happened. We drove into the mouth of the Whale, off on a long adventure that I would remember for the rest of my life. Just myself, my little dog Ellie and my self-converted camper van would have to withstand the rigours of thousands of miles, and there could be problems and challenges, but these are the things that test our resolve and can also make a trip even more intense and memorable. Just a few days earlier, something huge happened, something of my own doing and something that I hoped I would have the nerve to do one day. Even though I'd lived in my van for 7 months of the year in Scotland for a few years whilst I was working there, and also had other weeks away in the van when not working, I still had my house that I spent most of my time in winter. But now I'd decided to rent my home and live in my van full time. No matter what anyone thinks, this is a big deal. I would be relying on the integrity and quality of my van build to survive, but even more worrying is the integrity of the van, of which I have no control over if something serious occurs, and the longer I live in the van, the more likely that will occur. I feel as though it's necessary to explain this decision. The reason is because I know someone who recently went to live on a narrowboat after selling his house, and he got a bit of a slating on social media by people who, in my mind, are just stuck in their ways, have no sense of adventure, have lost the spark that ignites passion and courage, and are afraid of the unknown. But there are underlying reasons that make my decision possibly the only route out of my situation, whilst retaining my physical and mental health. I probably won't have time to go into details in this video, so maybe it will be in the next. So we've arrived at my very first ever French Air. Found this on Park for Night and got good reviews. And it was only 30 minutes from the ferry port in Dieppe, and it's called that, if you can pronounce it. I know I can't. And I was expecting it to be quite busy because it is Easter holidays, but just have a look round. There's only one other van here. It's a huge car park and everything is completely free, and we've got this service point here, and I'm just topping up with water. So I've run like an extending hose pipe here, and I've just put a connector on the van, emptying the waste. And to fill up, just press this button, and then you can empty your toilet waste down there. And then there's a little tap there with a push button for cleaning out your cassette, and then obviously for the grey waste you can use that there. All completely free. If you want to use electric, you need to put like a token in there. It says jeton, 1 jeton. I have no idea where you get the tokens from, but on a day like this there's absolutely heaps of solar, and I shouldn't really need electrical hook at all on this journey. So absolutely fantastic. It's a lovely rural area, so I'll be able to take Ellie a walk when I've got this sorted. Yeah, brilliant, looking forward to it. And just one more thing about this Air, there are bins, recycling bins to put your stuff, and there's a toilet block which is open, and inside here there are 2 toilets, both exceptionally clean. The light comes on when you open the door. There are no showers, but there's a wash hand basin, and that's all free too. So winner winner. So after 4 days of driving, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today's Saturday the 8th of April, and it's about 18 degrees here. The wind is a little bit cool, but I'm on the Ile d'Oléron, I think it's pronounced, which is near La Rochelle, and I'm going to try and show you something. So if you look over that way, I don't know if you can see that, but that is Fort Boyard, that featured on the TV programme, and it's lovely here. It's really nice. You can see the bridge over to the Isle that's a little bit north of here, the Ile de Ré, and I went over that bridge before on my motorbike and seen that one, so I thought I'd come to the southern one this time. Another deciding factor was that it's free to come over this bridge, whereas the other one I think costs about 14 or 16 euros to cross. So it's on this island, it's not as good for wild camping as it is on the mainland. This seemed to be a little bit stricter, so I don't know what's going to happen tonight, whether we'll depart this island or whether we'll find somewhere to stay, or we might even just pay for a campsite. We'll see. So I've managed to get all the way down here without using any toll roads at all, and I found that using the iPhone maps was better than using the Google Maps. When I was using Google Maps, it actually tried to take me onto a toll road, so I had to turn around and find a different route. So it's there's a lot of different kinds of roads that you end up getting put on. There are some decent dual carriageway roads, some roads that are 3-lane just like motorways. There's also this D roads, the smaller roads, but these D roads do differ. Some are really nice and open, they're all pretty much well kept, but you end up going through the villages and into the 20-mile-an-hour zones, and actually you can get put on some really small country lanes, but you see some lovely villages. The villages are beautiful, and you don't see any litter at all here in France. It's absolutely amazing, it's fantastic, and everything's so neat and tidy and well kept. Even the farms, like the farms back home in England, you see the rotting tractors and piles of tyres and mess everywhere. Here the farms are really kept clean and tidy. Everything's just as you'd like to see it, you know. It's so different. But I'm hoping to be able to get all the way down to Spain using the non-toll roads. So we'll see how it goes. I don't have any rush at all. So this was an interesting one. We had to drive through this castle. It was quite tight, but you don't get this kind of thing if you stick to the toll roads. Come on. Come on. Right, so what's my plan? The plan is to do the whole of the Iberian Peninsula, and I've got 3 months to do this, so this is why I'm not in any rush, and hopefully, fingers crossed, with no problems with the van, this is what I'll be doing. So I'll be going down to the Pyrenees in the southwestern corner of France, across the top of Spain, down through Portugal, down to the Algarve, and then hopefully calling into Gibraltar, going on the bottom coast of Spain for a while, and then going north up into Extremadura, maybe around that area, and Toledo, coming back out onto the coast on the east side, and calling in at some resorts, going round to the French Riviera and then back up. So yeah, that's the plan. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. We'll make it up as we go on. We did find this spot on Park for Night on the island, and Ellie had a little accident, and so we had to get the washing line out and dry things off before we could set off. Happy Easter! Today is Easter Sunday and it's 23 degrees here, and after the summer I had last year working up in the Highlands of Scotland, I've been looking forward to this so much. It got up to about 21 for a couple of days last year in the Highlands, and when you add all the scorching temperatures, it was about 17 where I was. So I've not had my shorts on for a year or two, and I've got my little white legs out today, so it feels so nice. And you might think I'm on the beach again, but it's not a beach, it's a sand dune. It's not any old sand dune, it's the largest sand dune in Europe, called the Dune du Pilat. And we've walked up the gentle side. There's a slope that is not too bad on one side, and a hell of a slope, a really steep slope, almost vertical on the other. But being brought up in a valley on the edge of the Peak District, it weren't too bad for me, even with my dodgy knee, and Ellie's enjoying it too. So the Dune du Pilat, it goes on quite a way. If you can see over that direction, that must be a good mile away, and there's no way I'm walking all the way along there. And if you've ever wondered what it's like walking up the sand dunes in Namibia, you want to come here, because it is really difficult, and it would take forever to walk on there and back. But the view out to sea is absolutely sensational from here, especially on a day like this. But it is pretty busy on the top today, with it being Easter Sunday. But what a gorgeous place. So when we'd finished at the Dune du Pilat, we went and found a park up about 20 miles away. Found it on Park for Night, a forest park up. And I woke up at stupid o'clock, about 4 o'clock, 4:30, and set off in the dark. And from this video you can see that the Euro lights that are fitted on the headlights of the van are working great. The light is only shining on the right hand side of the road, and all the time we were driving in the dark nobody flashed me. So I'm glad they're working well. So I decided to visit Biarritz as we were driving down the coast, and with it being Bank Holiday Monday I thought it was going to be really busy, so I was glad I set off early, and hopefully I could get a nice parking space right on the front. So as planned, I found a lovely parking spot right on the front. The view was out to the sea, just a short walk from the Rocha de la Vierge, which I'll show you later, is one of the tourist attractions here. And I've never seen as many surfer dudes all in one place, and it's really dedicated to surfing. The surfer shops, surfer lesson places, all geared up for the surfers. This is one of the main tourist attractions in Biarritz, just behind me, and that is La Rocha de la Vierge, or the Rock of the Virgin, and it's on this rocky outcrop. And if you're sure-footed you can walk up here and just across this bridge. Over that direction is the Pyrenees and Spain. I might get over there later on today. Well, the weather's not all that great today, not like yesterday. It's probably only about 15-16 degrees today. So we'll get back to the van. So I just got back to the van and I found this under the window. Parking fine. So where's the sign saying that you need to pay for parking? There isn't any. But I've just had a look round and there is a parking meter down this way. Right down the bottom of the street. And this fine is for €20. And looking on the parking meter, the parking fee is also €20. So basically I'm paying for a day's parking, which is not bad really. It's not a fine. It could have been 50 or 60 euros. So just have to suck it up and pay it. So we've driven down the coast about half an hour from Biarritz and found this lovely place. It's right on the Spanish border. It's called Hendaye or something. There's a gorgeous beach here, and with it being sort of bank holiday Monday, there's quite a few people about. And over there is Spain. So I think we're going to have an hour on the beach. The weather's changed for the better. It's lovely now. It's about 18-19 degrees. So we'll go and catch some sun. After having a walk around the town, it became apparent that Hendaye is absolutely beautiful. It's a really nice place. Buildings are picturesque, it's clean. Just seems like it's classy. It must be an expensive place to stay. And it's certainly a place where I could spend some time. The marina was gorgeous. And the views across to Spain, the hills, the views, the mountains of the Pyrenees. All just really, really nice. So this is tonight's park up. It's not very glamorous. We're just a couple of miles outside Hendaye. It's a bank holiday Monday and everywhere is busy. And this is the only option I've got really. There's not many free spaces around here. But most of these cars, the owners are playing golf down that way, and I'm hoping they're going to move later because I'm on a bit of a slope here and I'd like to move over to the left. So I should be able to do that later on. Good morning folks. We had a decent night's sleep. I managed to get the van moved over a little bit. Did get a bit noisy, the main road, when all the work traffic started this morning, people going back to work, etc. But just behind me, I don't know if you can see the bit of land stuck out over there. That is Spain, just the other side of Hendaye. We're obviously still in France, and we're going to be making that crossing today. So excited. Woo. So we've made it into Spain, and there was no fanfare crossing the border. There was no signs welcome to Spain. You wouldn't even known that you'd have entered another country until we started seeing the Repsol petrol stations. And we've found this park up on the search for sites app instead of the normal park for night, and it's absolutely lovely here. It's like a parkland area. They've got all the things you need for emptying your grey waste, for filling up your fresh water, emptying your toilets. And you do need one of those little adapters for the fresh water, and it's a push button. You have to keep it held in for 10 minutes, which is a bit annoying, but what do you want for nothing? There's a guy being round picking up litter. It's really tidy here. There's loads of spaces, and there's loads of room for Ellie to run about in. There's a little kids park over there. There's the bins for recycling. It's quite peaceful. The birds are singing. It's absolutely lovely. So we'll be staying here tonight. I'll check the van out, I think. Have a steady day, check the levels on the van, check the roof, make sure everything's okay. And then we'll have an easy day.